Hello out there to you. Let's decompose a demand curve so that we can see what's going on with the elasticity. So should be pretty used to this idea. We've got this downward sloping demand curve, which I've graphed here. Price on the y-axis, quantity on the x-axis, and starts out at 50. So 50 is like the reservation price, the most they're willing to pay, although they're not buying any at 50, so it'd be just under 50. But anyhow, going all the way out to 100. That's how much the market could bear. So I put that information into my table here in Excel. I've got price, quantity demanded. Now I'm going to figure out total revenue, marginal revenue, and then the price elasticity of demand. I'm going to move this over just so that I can show you an alternative way to calculate that. Now, instead of using point elasticity, so point elasticity is going to calculate the elasticity at a specific point, which we can figure out using the inverse demand function, but I'm going to go ahead and just use the more familiar arc elasticity from one point to another. Okay, so I'm going to give you the formulas here. So total revenue is price times quantity. Marginal revenue is the change in total revenue divided by the change in quantity. Okay, and then the arc price elasticity is the change in quantity demanded, but as a percent. So maybe I should put percent change divided by the percent change in price. Okay, and just to stay consistent there. Okay, so we've got all of that, and so an alternative way to calculate price elasticity of demand is calculating the percent change in quantity demanded, and then the percent change in price. So you could do that also. And so instead of writing one longer, more complicated formula. Okay, let's get into it. So price. So in Excel, we want to write a formula. So we just hit equals and multiply that times that, because that's price times quantity. And then you got a couple options. You can go all the way down, hit Control D on your keyboard, copies everything down, or you can get this little guy right here, this little cross. You can drag it down, or you can double click on it and it'll drag that down for you. Okay, marginal revenue is the change in total revenue. So we don't have any action before 0, so we're gonna just leave that right there. Okay, so marginal revenue, we'll write a formula for this. It's equals the new total revenue minus the old total revenue. And then I want to put this in parentheses because I want to do the change in quantity. So it's this. Oops. So then we want to go divided by this minus this. You put it in parentheses so that it does these separate. Excel's very sophisticated but kind of dumb in that respect. So so that's the change per unit, right? So you can see it's a change by 10, so it knocked off that. So I'll just copy that all the way down there. Okay, and then I want the price elasticity of demand. Okay, so I want the percent change in quantity demanded divided by the percent change in price. Let's actually do it separate here. So the percent change in quantity demanded is new minus old. Come to think of it, Excel probably has a percent change formula, but you know, I don't know what it is, so let's do it this way. All right, divided by the average. And the reason I want to divide it by the average is I'm using what's called a midpoint method, so that it doesn't matter whether I'm going up or down the demand curve. Okay, so you can find specific information as to why you'd want to use the midpoint method. But anyway, that's the change in quantity. Okay, and then we'll just copy that guy all the way down. Tell the Excel this is a percent. Okay, then we're going to do the same thing but with price. So it's new minus old over the average. Oops. Okay, and then just put your beginning part here. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to ignore error. Okay. So then the price elasticity of demand is just this, so the change in quantity divided by the, oops, let's turn these into percents so they look nicer. Okay, so this divided by this, and but these are not percents, so to go in here, format cells, and I'm going to change it back to a number, 2 decimal places. There we go. Okay, and then just copy that guy down. No bigs. All right, let's do this minus this. Oops. This is the price part. Okay, and I think we need to put, I think that was the error that I edited out of the video that I shouldn't be mentioning right now. Okay, so there we go, and you get the same answer. So same formula, we'll ignore whatever that's all about, and we'll send these to two decimal places. Okay, so all of these are negative. That's because price and quantity have a negative relationship. Many textbooks report these as absolutes. So we could do, typically, in my classes I do this. So we just say this, we'll put it in absolute terms. Okay, that's a little more standard. Okay, so recall the interpretation of elasticity, and what that is when price elasticity of demand is above 1, you have an elastic demand. Okay, so I'll highlight those guys in like a light green here. So that's the elastic range. So from the prices of 50 down to 25, we're in the elastic range of the demand curve. Okay, and here's our demand curve. So what does that mean? 50 down to 25, that's the elastic range. Okay, and then once we go below 25, we start getting an elasticity of less than 1, or if you're doing negative numbers, more than -1. So let's put those guys in like this yellowish color here. So now these are the inelastic portions or these are the inelastic parts of the demand curve. And so these are the prices and quantities that correspond to them. Okay, so why is this relevant? Well, this is relevant because of something called the revenue test. Okay, so when I'm looking at total revenue, sometimes it's called the total revenue test. I'm looking over here, and as I lower the price, you can see what's happening to total revenue. So as I lower the price all the way down to 25, I'm making higher levels of total revenue. Okay. Now, this corresponds to positive numbers in marginal revenue, because marginal revenue is the rate of change of this. So if this is increasing in a positive fashion, then that means that the margin, or the amount of change, is going to be positive. Okay. Now down here, as I start to lower my price, I make less revenue. Okay, and there the marginal revenue is going to be negative. Okay. Now vice versa too. If I'm charging a price of 15 and I raise my price and I charge a price of 20, then I can make a higher level of marginal, or sorry, of total revenue. And I'm going to go all the way, if I care about only revenue, then I'm going to go all the way up to price of 25, right? But once I start to raise my price past 25, then I'm going to make less total revenue if